All right, I'm gonna talk about You People. This movie that came out on Netflix this past Friday, the 27th. Yeah, January 27th. Well, it's just a typical interracial relationship movie. Where it shows about the family members, not accepting, the white person or the black person. And this movie shined a light on that, which was a good thing. And, it was kind of funny. It was a Netflix movie. They had a low budget somewhat. It was shot in L.A. And you can tell it was shot in L.A. And, I used a low budget or whatever, but I give this movie a 6 out of 10. What I didn't like about the movie was, Julia Louis-Dreyfus character. She was, talking to Lauren London's character like she was like a pet, a pet Negro. And Eddie Murphy's character, he was a Muslim, and he was trying to find the bad in Jonah Hill's character, which, I didn't have a problem with that. He kind of acted like a butthole a little bit, but he was kind of weary, which you should be. As a black person, we need to be weary of, white folks, because white people, some of them can be, white supremacists, and some of them can be evil. And we do need to be weary of, getting into relationships or even being friends with white people. Because white people, they'll do one thing and say another thing behind your back. You think these people are your friends, but these people are really not your friends. So you got to be wary of that when you're a black person. Because we do live in a system of white supremacy. We have all these, police killings and stuff like that. And they talked about that in the movie. They talk about Louis Farrakhan and the Jewish community. And they were shining some light on it. And it was the truth. Jewish people did own slaves. And, even though they had the Holocaust and stuff like that, but they still were considered white. And, they were talking about that, and they're trying to compare slavery to the Holocaust and stuff like that, which is, people got their different type of, things when it comes to that. I'm not going to get into that part of the movie, but, they talked about that in the movie, and with some valid points. But, like I said, this movie shined a light on interracial relationships and white supremacy and, how white people feel about black people. And, they think they might be liberal, but they have some, right-wing, talking points and stuff like that. You know how it goes. The Democrats and Republicans, they all the same. Especially when it comes to white people, the same bird on the same feather on the same bird, I meant to say. There's no difference between them, because they'll change up and they'll go from being a liberal to a conservative in a heartbeat. They just switch it up. It don't matter. That's a con game that these politicians play, especially the white ones, when it comes to being liberal and conservative. And black people, we don't need to be falling for that con game, because they are all the same, no matter what. You've seen people go from being a hardcore Republican to a liberal almost overnight. And this movie did shine a light on that. Long story short, they end up not getting together because they're families. And it shows you how hard an interracial relationship can be, especially if you got a big family. Now, interracial relationships can be not so hard when it comes to black people and white people. And, if the family members wasn't involved in the situation and you wasn't taking them to go meet your family, you really didn't care about how your family felt about being in an interracial relationship, then it'll get work. But then you have some people that do care about what their family think, and that's when it comes problems. And when you do get into situations like that, and it's kind of hard to be in relationships like that, because you really don't have anything in common with that person, especially when you're black. Because a white person they don't know nothing about being black. They don't know nothing about the struggle. They don't know anything about white supremacy. Or they do know about white supremacy, but they ain't gonna do nothing about it. And most of the time, the white persons really have a fetish for the black person. You know. Now, we got some black people who got fetishes for white people, but it's not nearly as demonic and degenerate as a white person have a fetish for a black person. That's a whole different level. You know, slave owners, had sex with slaves and had kids with slaves and still own slaves and still maintain systematic white supremacy. And then when slavery was ended, they didn't want to let the slaves go, but them same people did lay up and have sex with the slaves and have kids with the slaves. That shows you how demonic and degenerate some of these people can be. And the movie did shine a light on that. And I can understand Eddie Murphy's character when he was trying to protect his daughter and whatever. But he could have went about it a different way. He didn't have to go that route. He could have just accepted the fact that she was gonna marry this dude and kept it moving. And then I would just gave her some game on, just things to look out for. If she gonna be in an interracial relationship with a white man like that, just don't let them use you as a fetish. And make sure that they bring something to the table besides sex. That's what I would have told her if I was Eddie Murphy. If I was his character in the movie, I would have told Lauren London that, just to give her some game. But this movie did shine a light on that. It was a pretty good movie, 6 out of 10. It was low budget, you could tell it was low budget. He's shooting low budget movies out there in LA all the time. They shot that Jamie Foxx movie out there. So I guess that's what Netflix do. Well, we gonna shoot it in LA. We can save some money. That Day Shift movie about those vampires, that Jamie Foxx movie, it was the same setup, It's out there in California somewhere. Look like LA, so that's Netflix for you, but this movie is worth a watch. You got some stereotypical tropes in there. They didn't go too hard on it, but at the end of the movie, the mother and the father, they came to their senses and want to apologize to him. But the thing is, though, they kept David Duchovny and Nia Long's character out of the situation and let Eddie Murphy and Louise Dreyfus' character take over. They were in the back. They didn't really too much say anything about the interracial relationship. It was just the white mother and the black father. That was kind of interesting. But yeah, this movie was okay. It's worth a watch. It's a Netflix movie. It's a streaming movie. you can tell it's a streaming movie. But I'm glad this movie did not come in theaters. It wasn't gonna make no money in no movie theaters. Wasn't too many people gonna go out here and watch this stuff. But it was good they put this movie on Netflix. On a scale of 1 to 10, like I said earlier, I give it a 6 out of 10. It just shows you, how interracial relationships can be hard and can be taxing. And you got to put a little bit more harder work into an interracial relationship than you have to do a white on white and black on black, Latino on Latino relationship. It's just kind of rough, man. You're going to hear things from people that's supposed to be your friends, your family members. They don't like you dating somebody outside your race, especially when it comes to white people and Latinos. They don't like that. They have people be talking, trash about black people all the time and don't know nothing about black people like that. Them the ones who really have a problem, because most black people, we don't have problems, but people that we are in our family that date somebody that's non-black, we don't have a problem with that. We not prejudiced like that off the top, like the white people and the Latinos and all these other immigrant groups be racist towards us. We're not racist like that. We have a reason to be racist or prejudiced because of slavery, but white people and Latinos and Asians and all these other immigrant groups, they don't have nothing to fall back on for their racism. They don't. They just using stereotypes of what they see on TV. So they didn't go through slavery like we did. They didn't go through systematic white supremacy and systematic deprivation and all the resources taken away from us, like black people. So them being anti-black just to be anti-black, basically they just being there just to be anti-black, you know. But black people, we don't come out like that. So, but that's been my review of You People. Very good movie, very funny. Has some funny moments in it. It showed you have some low moments about racing, and then bring you back down to reality. But it was a good movie. And Laura London, she's been acting ever since Nipsey Hussle got killed, and it's okay to see her in the movies. Even though I don't really too much care for her as an actor, but it's good for her to get out and start doing movies again. Because she's been hopping around from rapper to rapper her whole career. Messing with Pharrell and Lil Wayne and Nipsey Hussle. Go from rapper to rapper. I don't know what's going on with her, but it's good to see her back in the movies. So, shout out to her. But that's been Mo the God King. Church, tabernacle, and preach. And all hail the God King.